But something that these two players lack, that a lot of people don't talk about, is their efficiency. They are disgusting when you talk about efficiency. When you want to talk about the best Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. So, Russell Westbrook versus James Harden. Now, this is going to get a lot of people very emotional, very upset. They're going to cry. Who cares? Russell Westbrook versus James Harden. Now, to me, it actually is a hard conversation, because if you think about it, James Harden is really just a 3-inch taller version of Russell Westbrook, because James Harden was, what, 2 rebounds shy from a triple-double. What did he average? 29, 8, and 11. Or 29, 8, and 12. And Russell Westbrook averaged 31, 11, 11. Right? So, James Harden and Russell Westbrook are very similar, but also very different. Russell Westbrook relies heavily on his heart, which is a good thing, but on athleticism as well. And we all know what happens to players that rely heavily on athleticism. They decline earlier on in their careers than, let's say, LeBron. For example, Dwayne Wade, what happened to him? He relied on athleticism, and he declined earlier in his career than, I would say, LeBron James. And not even just LeBron, you have other players as well. But that's not the point. The point is that James Harden, I would say, relies more on skill than Russell Westbrook does. And the reason why I say that is because just the way James Harden plays, it's very, very skillful. Russell Westbrook is just pure emotion, pure heart, and just pure, it's attack mode 24/7. Where James Harden, it's strategic. He'll get low, he'll take you, he'll rock you to sleep, okay? He'll hesitate, and if you jump, he's gonna draw the foul. If you have your hand where it shouldn't be reaching in, he's gonna draw the foul. So James Harden relies more on skill than Russell Westbrook does. So, in terms of skill, James Harden is there. Now, in terms of defense, obviously Russell Westbrook is better. They're both not great whatsoever at defense, and they're actually both very lackluster defensively. But Russell Westbrook is clearly a better defender. I mean, it's really not even close. James Harden's defense is an absolute embarrassment. It truly is. James Harden's defense is an absolute embarrassment. And the reason why I say that is because there's literally plays of him watching someone else drive right by him, or he's at half court playing defense, and he'll just stare at them and allow them to drive right by him, and he'll just sit there and stare, and then he'll blame his teammates. So that's why I say, in terms of that, it's clear, it's obvious that James Harden is a terrible defender. Now, none of them are as bad as, this lady probably thinks I'm crazy. None of them are as bad as people really think. Like, for example, James Harden isn't terrible at defense. He just doesn't try. And which is why he won Shaq in a full MVP, what was it, 2 years ago? Right? And if you think about it, James Harden has been in MVP consideration since, what, 2015? Stephen Curry won it 2015. 2016, Curry won the first unanimous MVP. And then 2017, Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. Now, personally, you guys already know my personal belief on whether or not James Harden or Russell Westbrook should have won MVP. I think James Harden should have won MVP just because his team had a higher seed. He was the best player on that team, the same way Russell Westbrook was the best player on his team. James Harden, I mean, he had great shooters, Eric Gordon, you know, defenders, and Patrick Beverley, and interior defense. But let's be real, neither one of them had great teams surrounding them. Okay, neither one of them had great teams surrounding them. So, this lady thinks I'm crazy. Neither one of them had great teams surrounding them. Okay, so James Harden didn't have a team full of superstars. He didn't even have any other all-star. Russell Westbrook had he didn't have a team of anything, pretty much. It was him, Victor Oladipo, and that's it. That was it, you know? So, both of them had terrible teams. But, if you look at what James Harden did, he made his teammates better in the real aspect of making his teammates better. Now, Eric Gordon was always a beast, but he excelled when James Harden got there. He excelled. I mean, when he got traded to the Rockets, he excelled with James Harden running point. And James Harden also excelled running point because I truly believe he's a true point guard and he actually makes his teammates better, whereas Russell Westbrook, some of the times, it looks like he's just stuffing the stat sheet. Literally not even playing defense so he can get a rebound or giving up wide open shots. I hate when that happens. Giving up wide open shots to get an assist. You know, I've seen him do that before. And it's not a good look. You know, and it's extraordinary that he averaged a triple-double. It's incredible. But something that these two players lack, that a lot of people don't talk about, is their efficiency. They are disgusting when you talk about efficiency. When you want to talk about the best players in the world, and this is why I said there are 4 players on their own planet as of right now, and everyone else is behind them. Those 4 players are LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and Kawhi Leonard in that exact order. LeBron, KD, Steph, and Kawhi. Here's the thing a lot of people don't understand about LeBron James. This dude doesn't even play 100% most of the time. And he almost averaged a triple-double last year. Could you imagine what he's going to do this year while being efficient? Low turnovers, high field goal percentage. Kevin Durant, low turnovers, high field goal percentage. And I don't want to hear this nonsense. Oh, well, look at his team. He was doing the same shit in Oklahoma City. Low turnovers, high field goal percentage. Stephen Curry, low turnovers, 50, 40, 90. 50, 40, 90. Kawhi Leonard, 50, 40, 90. Not exactly 50, 40, 90, but he was close. I think he was like 2% off from the free throw line or something like that. Literally 50, 40, 90. That's ridiculous. LeBron, 50, 34, and 80. 50% from the field, 34% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Really around 75. Let's say 70, okay? Kevin Durant, 50, 40, 90. Kawhi, 50, 40, 90. Steph, 50, 40, 90. And then when you look at Russ and James, it's like 44, 45, 30. You know, come on. And then they average like 6, 7 turnovers per game each. That's bad. I don't want to hear the excuse, oh, well, they don't have any help. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. Because if that were the case, why is it that when LeBron didn't have any help, he averaged less turnovers than he did when he had more help? It doesn't make sense. That whole story, oh, well, they don't have teammates to pass to, that's why they turn the ball over. It's complete nonsense. It's malarkey. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph, and Kawhi are the top 4 players in the world because they're skilled, because they're talented, because they improve their team, they make their teammates better, they prove that they can win as the main person on that team, but not just that, they're efficient. James and Russ are ridiculous players. Absolute ridiculous. But I've been saying this since day one. What's holding them back? Efficiency. It's so sad to see when I watched him turnover after turnover, stupid shot after stupid shot, stupid layup after stupid layup, stupid pass after stupid pass, not playing defense to get a rebound, not playing defense at all. It's embarrassing. You don't see that happening to LeBron, to Kawhi. Could you imagine Kawhi not playing defense? He's the greatest defensive player in the last 2 decades. And thinking about all the great defenders we had. Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince. I mean, come on, Bruce Bowen, Shane Battier. I can go on and on and on, and Kawhi eclipsed them. Think about all the great shooters we have right now and of all time. And Steph eclipses them. He eclipses them without question. So, as of right now, it's LeBron, KD, Steph, Kawhi, and then James or Russ. So now that we got that out of the picture, who do I think is better? Like I said, they're the exact same players, except one relies on skill and one relies on athleticism. They both impact the game on every single level, except for defense for the most part. Okay? And that's it. James Harden's a pretty good shooter. Russell Westbrook, even though he's clutch in crunch time. They both are. But James Harden is skilled like a motherfucker. If you ever watch this dude play, if you ever watch James Harden play, you'll see how strategic and how smart he is. He really rocks you to sleep, takes advantage of you, hesitates, pump fakes, fakes you this way, fakes that way, crossover this way, crossover that way. It doesn't matter. And then when you watch Russ, this dude is the freaking animal. Russell Westbrook, when I watch him, it's like I'm watching a 6'3" LeBron James. Except less efficient. That's really what I'm seeing. You know? So, again, both of them are great. And I know people are going to get upset. But personally, if you're in the same sort of situation, in the same conference, you play the same position, neither one of them have a lot of help. Personally, James Harden is the better player than Russell Westbrook. He's slightly more efficient. He's more skilled. Russell Westbrook's more talented, though. There's a difference between skill and talent. Talent is natural born. Like how Russ is naturally born athletic. His heart, his killer instinct, that mentality. It's ridiculous. He's a shark. He's a lion. James is like a panther. Rock you to sleep. Use my skill to get by you. Draw fouls. He's a genius when it comes to drawing fouls. You guys need to watch him play. What am I talking about? You gotta watch him play. Steve, you're retarded. I know. He's a freaking superstar. Everyone watches him play. But on a serious note, I think James Harden is the better player. Now, it's not to take away from Russell Westbrook because they're both great, but just because of the fact that James Harden's more skilled, he's slightly more efficient, and you know he had more success with his team last year, and it's debatable whether he had more help or not, but I personally believe James Harden is the better player. So James Harden is the 5th best player on the planet, and that leaves Russell Westbrook for 6th.